Hey YouTube, sorry for the sort of low production quality slash random video, but I kind of, well, my wife bought me a set of these Casper lights as a birthday gift, and I'm afraid the contacts on the bottom in here both kind of collapsed. I think the spring inside them went or something. I'm not really sure what happened. Maybe they overheated or something inside, they got sticky or dirty. And basically the two lights stopped working. You'd put them on the base, they wouldn't come on and flash, so it wouldn't start charging. So basically they became two paperweights. So I contacted Casper, and they no longer seem to operate in the UK. The person I spoke to actually was quite helpful. They did give us a refund for the cost of a base, even though we had two, but one was still working at that time. So, you know, they did what they could. But what I thought I'd do was kind of record a video about how I kind of went about fixing this. Obviously, you know, they are expensive. You don't want to just throw them away. So if you can, it's worth trying to fix them. So the kind of first step is basically just to turn the base over, and on the four corners, hopefully you can see that, there are four screw holes, which if I turn this over now, you can see. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just, if you undo those, at that point, you can then turn the base over, and what you're presented is with this little PCB underneath. And it's located on these little white pins here, 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 and there's two more and two more. So what I did was just take a very small pair of long nose pliers and just nick the end off those things. Basically, the PCB's pushed on, the little pegs are then heated up and they sort of expand. Think of it like almost like a plastic rivet. So I just nicked the top off, just so I could see what was wrong with it. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen, whether I could get a new PCB. I searched in vain for a replacement PCB with no luck. So what I did do was desolder the two little gold contacts. I'll put a screenshot of what they look like. And then I kind of went hunting, and I ordered a whole bunch off AliExpress. They didn't cost that much, maybe sort of, I don't know, the whole lot probably cost about £4, which is nothing really compared to the cost of the lights. And I'll put there's two sort of varieties I ordered. I'll try to put a screenshot of them up now. One is, it has, I don't know if you can see that there, maybe a pin on the bottom. And one variety comes without a pin. They're just flat, so you would sit them on the surface and solder them on. I thought I'd give both a try. Ordered both to see if they fit, but actually the set that I ordered with the pins in the bottom, and I'll put a link to AliExpress in the description of this, is the exact one that I ordered. They go through the board and you just solder them back on from behind. Obviously when you're cleaning these up, you need a solder sucker, so you just warm up the solder, use the little solder vacuum to solder out to pull out the solder, and then you have two nice clean connections here. You can put the two pillars with the little retainers. Hopefully you can see that on the bottom there. You see that at the top. You see that sort of spike. And then the other side of obviously is just a spring-loaded contactor that when it sits on it, it shrinks down. So solder the whole lot back together. Not really enough material now to kind of remelt those pins. So you've got to kind of find a way of refixing this, but I think with a bit of foam in here, and once this is all bolted up, that should push up nicely. What I'll probably do is locate it, put some tape in, put a bit of foam into this piece, and when it all screws back together, it'll kind of contact. So I'm going to go off now, solder these up and do a test, see if it works. So kind of, this isn't going to be a soldering video because there's hundreds of soldering videos online if you want to watch a soldering video, but this is what I did just to come in from the back. There you go, get pin number 1 on, and then just swap it over. As I said, you can locate it in the base and solder it in the base. I was just trying a different way on this one. Yeah, and you can see that went in pretty straight. isn't perfect, but what I wanted to do is just get a little bit of solder on it, and then what you can do is just, because my finger's only going to be there a second, just warm it up and let it slot in. There you go. It wasn't quite neat back to the board. That'll do nicely. Right, the moment of truth. All back together, all plugged in. It should flash. There we go, perfect. So, give that a bit of time to charge, and hopefully that's a unit repaired for, I think, around probably a couple of quid. So now it's just time to reassemble. So the tape I used was this tape. This is actually automotive tape, believe it or not, but it doesn't really matter as long as you cut a little bit. And what you want to do is cut a piece to go in that slot. Doesn't have to be perfect, nobody's going to see it. Just needs to sort of push on the PCB effectively. So, and anything will do. If you can find some foam backed double-sided 3M things for kind of mounting something on the wall or whatever you can find, as long as it's insulated and isn't going to short out. And obviously you don't really want to stick anything to the PCB if you can help it, because you might delaminate it if you have to remove it again or something. So I've just left the double-sided piece on. Just give that a good push. This all just clicks back into this little track. Sorry, got behind the way. Okay. Push it around there. It's just a little bar on the back of there. I don't have a file to hand, but I do have a pencil sharpener which has got a gnarled grip on it, which is the next best thing for sanding things. And then that slot there obviously goes over where this cable goes. So that goes back together like so. And these are the old pins that came off. Really hard to see. Put it on there and hold it up, but they're absolutely shot. They completely collapsed and have lost their spring back. So again, you just go around, peel it up one at a time. What I would say is just don't over tighten the first one down, just go down till it starts to grip, and then get the other three in, and then just work your way around doing a final tighten up, and then everything will pull nice and even in terms of how it's pushing on that foam pad. So just as it starts to bite, move around, do the next one, and then go around. Same principle as doing up a cylinder head or a wheel nuts. You don't want to tighten up one too much. It makes it difficult to get the others on, and then they don't tighten evenly. Spectacle style screwdrivers. It is a very small posi drive head on it, or Phillips head, and all of my conventional screwdrivers wouldn't work with it. So hopefully you can see those two. I can never remember where the damn camera is on this thing, but they are sitting up nicely, certainly compared to how it was previously. Maybe a little hard to see, you probably saw better on the previous one. And again, we should, okay, so yep, we've got the flash. That's number 2 repaired.